So back in again to our new video. So for today's video, we will talk about the financial literacy, the Economic and Financial Literacy Act, the benefits of financial literacy, the common concepts under financial literacy, the financial literacy here in the Philippines, the needs and wants, and the liability and the assets. So let's go. Financial literacy is the ability to understand how money works, how someone makes, manages, and investing, and also expensive, especially when one believes to charity, help others. Being financial literate means being aware of your main resource, which you work hard for, because when you are financial literate, you know how to handle things financially. You know how to budget your money, distinguish the difference between needs and wants, and financial literacy is somehow a key to your financial freedom. Republic Act Number 10922, an act declaring the second week of November of every year as Economic and Financial Literacy Week, being elected by the Senate and House of Representatives of the Philippine Congress assembled, Section 1, the title. This act shall be known as the Economic and Financial Literacy Act. The state recognizes the growth and potential of the country through a financial literate people who make sound financial decisions, mobilize savings, and contribute ideas on improving economic and financial policies and programs. The benefits of financial literacy: first, according to Logan, ability to recognize a bad financial deal. One skill being a financial literate is to be able to recognize a bad financial deal. You have to know if you can benefit from a deal or if it is scam. One way to avoid getting scammed is researching the background of the other party. Second is paying lower cost. Being wise in saving money and knowing the importance and the negativity of being expensive. Next is the retirement. Every older adult should be able to live a comfortable life once he or she retires. However, adequate planning is needed in order to save enough money before retirement and know how to handle money once in retirement. And the last is seek out of help when needed. Sometimes people may be embarrassed or too shy to ask for financial help from loved ones or consultant. However, knowing when help is needed is the best way to keep yourself financially afloat. These are the common concepts under financial literacy. The first one is the investment platforms, essentially an online service which allows you to buy, sell, and hold funds. Possible for you to do this yourself directly on a non-advised basis via a direct-to-customer platform or on an advice basis using a financial advisor who will invest on your behalf. Next is the funds. Funds is the sum of money saved or made available for a particular purpose. Next one is the finances. Finances is the one who manage a large of amounts of money, especially by governments and companies, providing funding for a person or individual or enterprises. Debit card. A debit card is a payment card that deducts money directly from a consumer's checking account to pay a purchase. This eliminates the need to carry cash or physical checks to make purchases directly from your savings. Next one is the credit card. Like the debit card, credit card is a thin rectangular piece of plastic or metal issued by a bank or financial services company that allows cardholders to borrow funds with which to pay for goods and services with merchants that accept cards for payment. Next one is the stock, or also known as equity. Stock is a security that represents the ownership of a fraction of a corporation. This entitles the owner of the stock to a proportion of the corporation's assets and profits equal to how much stock they own. Units of stock called shares. Next one is the inflation. Inflation refers to the rise in the price of most goods and services of daily or common use, such as food, clothing, housing, recreation, transportation, consumer staples, and etc. It measures the average price change in a basket of commodities and service over time. Next one is the deflation. Deflation when overall price level decreases so that inflation rate becomes negative, it is called deflation. It is the opposite of the often encountered inflation. The next one is the purchasing power. It is the value of currency expressed in terms of the amount of goods or services that one unit of money can buy. That is the purchasing power. Next is the annual percentage rate or the APR. APR, it is the cost you pay each year to borrow money, including fees expressed as a percentage. Annual percentage yield or the APY is the real rate of return earned on the savings, deposits, or investment, taking into account the effect of compounding interest. Next one is the budget. Budget, basically a financial plan for defined period of time. Normally, a year that is known to greatly enhance the success of any financial undertaking. Next one is the capital gains. Capital gains is the profit one earns on the sale of an asset like stocks, bonds, or real estate. It results in capital gain when the selling price of an asset exceeds its purchase price. It is the difference between the selling price, the higher one, and the cost price, which is the lower of the asset. Next one is the checking account. Checking account is a deposit account held at a financial institution that allows withdrawals and deposits to have an easy access to your money. Next one is the credit score. The credit score is used by lenders to help decide on whether to extend or deny your credit. A person's credit score is a number between 300 to 850, and 850 being the highest credit rating possible. Next one is the savings account, an interest-bearing deposit account held at bank or other financial institution. Though through these accounts, typically pay a modest interest rate, their safety and reliability make them a great option for parking cash you want available for short-term needs. Interest rate, amount of lender charges for the use of assets expressed as a percentage of the principal. The assets borrowed could include cash, consumer goods, or large assets. So, the financial literacy in the Philippines remains low, according to Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. In 2014, another World Bank study also found that 20 million Filipinos saves money, but not all of them have bank accounts. The following year, an Asian Development Bank study said that the country did not have a national strategy for financial education. Most of us are often instant gratification, work and get paid. Another obvious reason is that many Filipino only have a low income and therefore have no cash to spare for investment. So, as a Filipino, it is important that those of us who can invest should. Financial literacy is an important part of making the most out of our hard-earned money. If you want to thrive in today's economy, you must challenge the status quo and get the financial education necessary to succeed. This line is according from an American businessman and author, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. So needs versus wants. Needs are things we need in order to survive in this society. Needs are limited and something we must have, like foods, shelters, and clothing. A primary feature of a need is that it is necessary to sustain life. Unlike wants, wants it is something that an individual desires but would be able to live without. The next one is the assets versus the liability. Assets are something that provides future benefits to the business. That's why business consultants encourage businesses to build assets and reduce expenses. Liabilities, on the other hand, are something that you're obligated to pay off in the near or distant future. Liabilities are formed because you receive a service or a product now to pay off later.